Hi, I'm Caitlin Skaggs. I'm the Associate Vice President for University Relations, and today I'm joined by Dr. Nicole Hendricks. She is our Executive Director of General Education. Thanks for joining me today.
Thank you, Caitlin. I'm happy to be here.
So let's start off by talking in just a broad way about general education here at Radford.
So right now, general education consists of what we call core curriculum. It has a menu of courses that students select individual courses to fulfill requirements. There are limitations on how those courses can count in majors and minors, and we encourage and pretty much exclusively focus on breadth of study, so the wide range of courses a student will take to fulfill general education. Right now, in the fall of 2020, students entering Radford University will take 30 credit hours of general education. Because of our most recent general education reform, we have increased the flexibility of that curriculum to allow students to count those in majors and minors.
Okay. So talk to me about some of those changes that are coming.
The core curriculum that is being implemented in the 2020-2021 academic year is a transitional curriculum. Over the last 3 years, faculty across campus have been engaged in pretty broad, innovative general education reform. We asked a very different question about general education, thinking about the role it plays in a student's experience on campus and within their major and minor. And to think about how a student might make the most use of their credit hours. So a typical bachelor's degree program is 120 credits. At most universities, both in the Commonwealth and nationwide, general education makes up anywhere from 30 to 50 credits of a student's experience. And to lesser and greater degrees, students can count those courses in majors or minors, but in many cases, students are sort of checking off boxes on a list of courses to take. And the faculty at Radford University have asked a bit of a different question of general education. We know that students are building learning and knowledge in their majors, and we wanted to increase the ability of students to reach out and explore areas that are outside of their major. But we also wanted to credential those so that a student walks away with more than just a checkbox, that they walk out with a minor or a certificate that shows their expertise and demonstrates this depth of study in important areas of knowledge.
Okay, so what is this going to be called? Is there a name?
There is. We have called this the REAL curriculum, and it's an acronym. The R stands for scientific and quantitative reasoning. The E is humanistic or artistic expression. The A is cultural or behavioral analysis, and the L, which is a very innovative expansion of general education, focuses on applied learning. The L gives us an opportunity to integrate many applied areas, pre-professional areas, that help a student make a connection to an area of employment or a particular field of study that they might pursue.
So I'm hearing kind of a dual benefit. It's beneficial for the here and now, for an enjoyable experience during their collegiate studies, but then also it's going to transcend into setting them up for professional success.
Absolutely. Any academic will tell you that we've done a lot of research about how often students are going to change jobs upon graduation. Over a lifetime, the averages sort of have varied depending on the study you look at, but we know that students are going to change jobs often over their lifetime. And at Radford, we're preparing students to make that shift. So a student in my field, criminal justice, might start out wanting to be a police officer on the line, and criminal justice under REAL will cover social, cultural, or behavioral analysis and applied learning, but that student might rise up in the ranks and become an administrator or a leader in a police agency and might need to have professional or technical writing capabilities. So a minor in something like that sets a student up to be more nimble and to be more successful later in life.
So why should students and families be excited about this? I think you've given some good reasons, but tell me a little bit more.
In many ways, this is about putting a student in the driver's seat of their education. So a student comes to Radford, and we've laid out these very important four areas where we want them to study, R, E, A, and L. But the student isn't limited by a menu of courses. Instead, we're going to ask them about their goals, where they hope to be when they graduate, what perhaps their passions are, and then ask them to pick programs. So rather than selecting a single course and sort of gritting your teeth through that, and maybe it isn't something you're super interested in, we're asking students to select programs in a way that will fuel their success across the entire campus. The cool thing about REAL is that we're not limiting the focus. A criminal justice student might come here and absolutely believe they want to work in corrections. Sure. But maybe they were a dance student all of their life. So that student could pick up a minor in dance to fulfill E, and we have made space in the curriculum for that student to pursue the dance minor while still staying on their professional path. And so one of the things about REAL that I'm very excited about is that the choices that students will make are, we hope, going to be geared and focused on where they'd like to see themselves or how they see themselves, rather than treating it as something to get through, a hoop to jump. And so for me, REAL is about really putting the student at the center of the educational experience, and connecting them with faculty and departments who do the things that they're really interested in. I think when students find that department or that academic home, then they feel connected to their education in a way that makes that education more powerful.
I like that. And I think we're also already known for the close student-faculty relationships that we have here on campus, and it sounds like moving to the REAL model for curriculum is only going to strengthen that and provide additional opportunities for those connections.
This model of curriculum encourages departments to put their most engaging faculty in first-year courses. So to really think about how courses are staffed, how students enter their majors and minors, to really create pathways for students, not just within their own programs, but to also think about how other programs complement what they do. So again, you can think about programs like nursing that are going to cover multiple areas because of the licensing requirements for nursing. But they may think about ways that minors in the areas they don't cover complement the student development in nursing. So a bioethics certificate or a healthcare humanities minor. Those are examples of how we can build a system that supports the student's growth and development.
So really, in summary, it's about putting the student at the center of their educational trajectory here at Radford. It's about finding a way to facilitate closer relationships between students and faculty. It's about setting them up for agility in the workforce once they graduate. I mean, this sounds like it's a really fantastic initiative for our students, a really fantastic move in our general education.
I believe it is. It's also fairly innovative. And within the Commonwealth, general education is not invisible for students. And in fact, in many instances or circumstances, it's sort of something students learn about at orientation, the courses that they're going to take care of or take as part of their first 1 or 2 years of study. REAL makes general education invisible. It allows us to fulfill the general education requirements of our accreditors in ways that make it not something students have to think about. They'll just do it as part of pursuing their passion.
When families are thinking about the REAL curriculum, what is the benefit that they should be most excited about?
This curriculum approach, as families are considering where to invest their money, students are going to get the most out of their experience. A typical student at Radford University is going to walk out of here with a bachelor's degree and at least one minor. And in many cases, this program makes it much easier for a student to double major, to make the most in a very innovative way, and to collect credentials and demonstrate expertise to future employers. So that rather than a single course a student may have taken in a traditional general education in iTech or programming, the student will pursue an entire minor in that.
The credentialing piece makes so much sense, though, that our students would want to leave here and have a tangible way to demonstrate all that we're imparting on them along the way and all their hard work, and to have something that's easier to put in black and white on a resume that says, I learned so much, and I am so capable, and I am so ready for the next challenge, I think is really important.
I agree, and I think the other piece of it in terms of the credentialing is that oftentimes a student will say to someone who's looking at either a transcript or their resume, they'll ask, have you had a class in programming? And a student will go, oh, yeah, for gen ed, I took this particular class. And REAL says, make your selections around general education, but do it in a way that we want you to invest in that. We are investing in you, those faculty are investing in you, and REAL asks the student to consider the choices they're making in a way that'll set them up for lifelong success.
And the piece about this that I can't help but love is that I know part of being in the Radford family is being known by faculty, being known by other students, even being known by staff members as you walk across campus. And this is just one more way that our students are going to continue to be known and seen and heard and supported along their academic journey and beyond. I think it's fantastic.
Absolutely. I think one of the most exciting things for me about REAL is that a student is owned. They have a place, and it's not just one place. They're actually going to have multiple homes on campus. So a student in my home Department of Criminal Justice, they might also have a home in English and know those faculty and have those relationships. And that's a support system. When the faculty know your name and can support you in seeking your success, I think that's an intangible, powerful experience for students.
Very much so. Tell me what it's like to be part of the Radford family.
Well, I've been here since 2006. I joined the Department of Criminal Justice faculty in that August, and I think one of the things that drew me to this campus was not just how gorgeous it is or how gorgeous the mountains are in Southwest Virginia, but also I think this is a place where things are possible. I've said this in other things, in other interviews and discussions, that Radford's always been a place where someone could reach their full potential. And so as a faculty member, I came here. This was my first academic job after grad school, and I really felt like I found my identity and my place and my home. I don't believe this curriculum innovation would be possible anywhere else. Mm-hmm. Our faculty have asked a very brave question, and their willingness to step into that and consider a very different approach to general education is something I'm very proud of. The reform process is absolutely faculty owned. From the beginning, general education reform was initiated and developed by the faculty at Radford University.
Thank you so much for all the time you've spent with me today and all the great information you've shared about the REAL curriculum. Any final words for our students and families?
Thank you, Caitlin. I really appreciate being here to talk about the curriculum reform efforts on our campus. I'm excited about the brave questions and responses our faculty have put forward, and most excited about the opportunities this presents for our students.
It's wonderful. Thank you.